Alright, I'm Uriah Keith, and I'm 32 years old. I think I knew that I was fully addicted when, um, so I ended up getting injured. I was still in the military. I was on leave of absence at the time, actually. I was doing training, but I ended up having like 2 weeks off. And I was kind of masking it well before the 2 weeks period, but I ended up getting into a cycle of selling narcotics, a higher, you know, different drugs like heroin, to kind of fuel my addiction and make money at the same time. And so I knew then I was addicted is when I started letting my cousin use my military ID to get entrances into the bar to hang out with me. I was doing things that weren't cool, you know what I mean? I was selling drugs. Um, yeah, I just started thinking that was more important, having money in my pocket, self-gratification right away, or instant gratification, and doing drugs on top of that. And so then it just kind of spiraled down there, like, I ended up not showing up for, military activities. I ended up making excuses with my sergeant, my platoon leader. I started losing myself. My son's mom took my son away from me, not court ordered, but was like, no, I'm not gonna let you be around your boy. Um, I just started losing friends and family, and then next thing you know, I ended up going to jail and getting caught with $10,000 and a couple grams of heroin. And it was a big turning point, but it didn't stop there. Like it didn't end there. That's where I wish it would have stopped. And my mind didn't change at that time. It was still like, oh, okay, I'm out of the military now. Like my life is ruined. I'm never gonna do nothing. So I went back to selling drugs and went back to using for probably the better half was I was actually at a crack house in Boniface, and my son came with me, and my ex-wife actually, my ex was like, yeah, you can take your son. She didn't realize that was in my addiction, because I'd always be like, oh, I'm just going to wait in the truck, he can come hop in, because I've always wanted to be with my boy, I've always wanted to be a father, but, so we ended up going to a house, and my son was actually, this was only 2 years ago too, and he was actually laying in the room, and I could just, like it says in the article, I could see, crack smoke coming through the door, and my boy is just laying on this bed, people are doing drugs in the house. And I don't know, I just had something come over me because I was getting ready to shoot heroin right in front of my son, and there's needles and all this stuff, and I just remember, I don't know what it was, but something, I'm telling you, when the Holy Spirit hits you, and they say you have a bigger purpose, and you know what I mean, and it just was crazy, so I ended up doing it that day, regardless of the circumstance. I ended up shooting heroin. And I ended up praying after that, and I said, Lord, please take this obsession, this addiction from me. I don't want to live like this no more. I need something more out of life. You know what I mean? I know who I am as a person. Found God. That was actually when I first found Jesus Christ, or what I thought was a higher power. I didn't know if it was Jesus Christ at the time, like I am now, because I'm a full Christian. But at the time, I knew there was a purpose, that I was going through all these changes and all these phases and meeting all these people, and just hey, Uriah, you can do this. Hey, Uriah, you can do, you can be whatever you want. You know what I mean? With this walk, you just get the fruits of it. And so I went into SART for 3 months. Well, in that meantime, I didn't graduate, but I went there for 3 months. And in the meantime, I ran up met Chris Burns. So I went out. I was good for 2 months, and then relapse. And it happened just like that. And it was so funny because I can remember the day it happened. Oh, Chris, Uriah, don't leave. You're not ready. Uriah, everybody at SART, commander, just everybody was in my corner room, Uriah, don't do it, you're not ready. And I thought I was, and so I went out, 2 months, I relapsed. I ended up going to Vegas,